Growing up, my whole life I was interested in the priesthood, and when I was in high school, my mentor, Father Robles, told a story about his mentor when he was in high school. When he was in high school, he was in the seminary, and his mentor was Father Abromitis. And one time, Father Abromitis, who the people loved, and he loved people as he was around them, and they just saw the kindness in him. And he turned to this young seminarian, and he said, "What would you do if I left the priesthood?" "Well, Father, you'd never do that. But I'm just saying, what would you do if I left the priesthood?" But it's never going to happen. Just given that, what would you do? And the young man said, "Well, I guess God is calling me to be a priest, so I would continue to pursue that calling, and God willing, I would be a priest." And Father Abromitis said, "That's right. You put your faith on Jesus Christ, not on a priest or anyone else." Which is actually wise words for all of us. Hopefully we all know what it's like when someone has a real strong faith in our life. Whether it's a parent, a grandparent, a friend, maybe one of our own kids or grandkids. And it inspires us. But that's different than basing our faith on that one person. We are to base our faith only on God and not on a human person. The Jewish people, they had a corporate Father Abromitis, and it wasn't a person that they kind of started to base their faith on. It was a building. It was the temple. And it might sound odd to us, but this is where the name of God dwelt. And it meant so much to the Jewish people. It would be, like for us American Catholics, it would be wrapping up Rome, Washington, D.C., and Wall Street all into one site. Because the temple was the religious, political, and economic center. And in the time of Jesus, King Herod had spent decades building up the courtyard of the temple, huge, massive stones that people today are thinking, how did they ever stack these on top of one another back in those days? And the temple was gilded in gold and jewels. And to look at the temple where the name of God dwelt just kind of like spoke to the power of God and His glory and His blessing upon the people. And then they hear Jesus say, the day is going to come when not one stone is going to be left on top of another. But they're kind of basing a lot of their faith on this building. And a lot of things would crumble if the building crumbles. And when Jesus came to live among us, He also came to die for the salvation of the world, to sacrifice Himself. So the animal sacrifices in the temple had no place really in the covenant anymore. And He was preparing His early followers, most of whom were Jewish, and who looked to the temple to inspire them. Because the day is coming when it won't be there. And for them, there must have been this sense like, you mean without a temple, all we're going to have is Jesus? Yeah, I guess that's right. All we have is Jesus for us. It is wonderful to be inspired by others, but many of us know what it's like when we find out that the person who inspired us falls, fails, turns away, and it shakes us. We must remember we're going to be okay because our faith rests on Jesus Christ.